What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we're going to be previewing round 22. It's Port Adelaide versus Essendon. Second to the last game of the season for these two teams. It's at Marvel Stadium. It's 4:10 on a Sunday afternoon. It's the hangover time slot for the teams that won't be playing finals at this time of the year, and it's going to be a interesting clash, I think, from both sides. And one I'd expect Port Adelaide to get the job done, and even though Essendon have been a quite plucky side this year, especially of late. So let's get straight into it and let's preview round 22. Now, it's funny, isn't it? There's been quite a lot of talk around Port Adelaide this week, especially in particular the Prison Bar Guernsey, and a lot going on in terms of selection as well. Quite not most notably, we'll get Todd Marshall back into the side with him coming out of HS protocols, which is fantastic for our forward line, which was dysfunctional last week. That does mean, though, that someone will have to make way, and it might be Teakle again to make way for what has been a pretty workable structure with Finlayson and Dixon in the ruck, although Dixon kicked 2 goals last week. Finlayson kicked his average 1, and I think we did miss that star key forward, and even though our game style didn't really work last week against the Tigers, this is going to be different. It's going to be fast-paced. It's going to be hectic football at Marvel. The roof's going to be closed, obviously, and I think overall we're going to have our best skill set on the board, because Essendon could very much blow us away, and we've seen it happen time and time again when we've played at Marvel, that it can be quite distressing when you're on the defensive with the team attacking so well. So it'll be interesting to see how they play that one out, but Todd Marshall definitely comes into the side. Georgiades, 2 goals too. With his body not 100%, I feel like his season could pretty much be in the SNFL for the rest of the year. Although I would make a case for him to come back depending on the circumstances that we need to play. Jackson Mead as well had a fantastic game in the Sandford last week. I think he definitely has an opportunity to come into the side, and with a couple of other players that haven't quite made the mark in the team. I'm not sure who exactly you do drop, but you need to work around, I think, a younger midfield now and try and get something pretty exciting going. Mead, I reckon, fits into that category with Rosie and with Butters as well, and alongside Boak and Wines in the middle could be a pretty prolific duo. I don't know if Drew comes back out of the side, but he was very, very good last week in his tackling pressure, and he actually had a few disposals as well, which is something you want from a midfielder. You want his work rate around the footy contested, but also uncontested, and I think our game uncontested wise needs to be moved on a little bit quicker, and he definitely took that opportunity last week, which was great to see. I don't understand why we're playing such a very small back line. It's unfortunate that Tom Cleary won't play for the rest of the year with a clean out on his knee. Mackenzie's got a lot to do, and there's a lot of pressure on him last week, and he's got a big opponent this week on Peter Wright. 2-metre Peter is going to have a field day in our defensive unit unless we have a tactical plan to come up with what can be done to stop him and Essendon's fast movement. We know Essendon's midfield can be quite prolific. It's quite young, but it's also a very, very a good asset in terms of possession getting. Merritt's obviously in there. Dylan Shields in a pretty good nick as well. And then obviously Jakey Stringer can have a big impact on the game. It's something that we're going to have to focus on under the roof. And it's definitely can be a two-way street. It's going to be a very high-scoring affair. It's going to be very fast-paced, and it's something that's going to be pretty exciting, I reckon, to watch as a neutral viewer. But for myself, as us Port Adelaide fans, it's going to be something that we're going to have to really hone in and focus on. Is that quick transition that I know Essendon can provide. In terms of a tip, I'm tipping Port Adelaide by 36 points. I think we come out, make a bit of a statement, go into the showdown. There's a lot of talk around Ken Hinkley and his contract and his future at Port Adelaide. The standard facts are simple. It is Port Adelaide and him for 2023 is contracted. Until that is broken, until that's paid out, until that is changed with a sacking or with a decision made, we can't say anything more about it. In my personal opinion, yes, I think it's time for change. I'm not going to shy away from that anymore. I think it is time that we make a change. But in saying that, if the decision is to go into next year with Ken Hinkley, I'm not going to shy away from the fact I will be a little bit disappointed, but also at the same time, I am going to back us into next year. Got to be having a hard trade period, a very focused draft, and the decision making around the rest of the football department has to be made as well. And I do strongly believe we cannot go into next year one assistant coach short too. With losing Michael Voss and not really replacing him with a staunch figure like he was, it's hurt us in 2023, and it's hurt our game style, and it's sort of left, having those assistants not really being able to step up, and we've gone from within. It's time to expand out. It's time to expand out into other clubs, into other trades, and with players and coaches, and really hone in on that focus. I'll touch on more on this after the season when I give a performance review as such, and really try to focus in on that. The other thing that's been really distracting this week is the prison bars, and I think the playing group as a whole will be really filthy with we've been a lot in the publicity in the media this week. It's been very disheartening as a supporter because a lot of it's been negative, whether it's been the prison bars, it's been Ken Hinkley. We've had the playing group come out and state that they can't believe this is happening. And it's a motivational factor, I think, for this week. So if we can either go for two ways. Port Adelaide come out and make a big statement against an Essendon outfit that's pretty much is done for the year, but they're just playing for the last two games of the season. Or we come out and we get smashed. We actually become on the back foot a little bit. We're feeling the pressure and feeling the heat. It's a little bit of a test. You're testing a young group. You're testing an outfit that is coming up against different types of pressure. It's media. It's media pressure that's not making finals. Your team's not playing well, and you're not winning games of football. You lost the last 4 against an outfit like Essendon. Now, this will really be a one nail in the Ken Hinkley coffin. It'll be one nail in the coffin of Port Adelaide in terms of this season. And when I say that, I mean it's a real dagger. Because if we lose this game, it is something that I think a lot of supporters, this might cause a riot. Because you go into the showdown under a lot of pressure. With Adelaide in form, you do not want to lose that showdown. This is a statement game for Port Adelaide. Simple as that. Essendon have their opportunities. They have their own agendas that they'd like to prove in terms of statements to be made, or just winning games of football and just getting games into legs, whatever they may please. This is Port Adelaide's hurrah as such, away from home at Marvel, with the whole competition putting a lot of pressure and everything that's been said during the week. This is a statement game for Port Adelaide. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, Port fans. There will most likely be a live stream this weekend of the game, so come and join me and on the channel. We'll be streaming and hopefully enjoy a bit of the game and get a win on the board. So make sure you come and join that. Subscribe to the channel if you're new for plenty more Port Adelaide and AFL content. That's going to come away for the rest of the season as well, particularly as well AFLW. That's going to come very, very shortly with the content there too. So I'm very excited for that to start. Less than 3 weeks to go, which is amazing. Tickets on sale for the showdown as well. So make sure you jump on board that and get as many Port fans to the game as possible. Thank you for watching, Port fans. My name is Anthony, and as always, come ThePear.